Okay, I've actually had a few incomplete runs since the last one I showed off on camera. I didn't really do too much in them, except I think that's where I unlocked this healing flask upgrade. That's why I now have a pyramid storing my healing juice. I think I might have unlocked a few other items as well, but I don't quite remember what they were. Nothing was too standout, unfortunately. Pretty good starting stuff though. Bleed is quite powerful, which is why they plan on nerfing it. I just took damage there because the game ended up stuttering. I'm not really sure why that happened. Oh yeah, and something I never actually thought to do before, that I just saw someone do on stream, I can just duck the arrows. That won't work against the elite version since they have a second one below that, but against the regular ones who have caused me so much trouble, yeah, why didn't I realize this was a thing? I can even fire arrows while ducking and keeping the same height, so yeah, that should help me a lot. So yeah, starting off with the blood sword and the freeze bow is a pretty good combo. I got the powerful stacking bleeding effect along with the ability to freeze any one enemy. And while the game really wants me to— oh, I have to get 2250 gold. Because this has the pierce the first target modifier that is so good for bows, that means I can freeze 2 targets instead of only 1. Okay, that's what I'm gonna focus on, assuming I don't find anything better, which I might. That sword right there though, definitely is not it. As we saw last time I think, or was that on the run I scrapped, I'm not sure. But the frantic sword down here isn't exactly all that good. Even when you are below 50% health and you're getting guaranteed crits, its damage isn't exactly all that great. Certainly not worth the risk of an increased chance of being one-shot from being at such low health. Also, I just realized there is a Triforce here. I wonder if that's a purposeful nod, making these piles of wood look like the Triforce. It probably is. Ooh, I'd like to acquire an additional 3k gold for that heart, but I think I'm going to focus on the freeze bow. Because the heart's only going to help me once, whereas the freeze bow, assuming I don't get something better than it soon, will be good for the entire run. Ooh, fantastic, I'm actually getting skills this time as well. Bear Trap for immobilizing things, and Turret for dealing pretty good damage. And from a distance too. So that way I don't have to die to that fog mage asshole again. Oh, that was the worst. Let's throw out the turret here. Have him take care of the enemies for me, while I provide support. It almost worked out like that. Okay, good. I have enough for that bow upgrade. Fantastic. And a level up of my choice. That is fantastic as well. Okay, so I can duck while shooting, but I can't actually fire through those little portholes, despite it looking like I should be able to. That's a little bit disappointing. More HP for tankiness, better skills, better strength. I've actually started with some pretty good skills, so let's increase the efficacy of those. That's never a bad choice unless you just, you know, happen to not find any skills on a run, which I've had happen in the past. Extra damage to burning, I love the electrical whip, but I think the bleed sword is better at the moment. If it had a better random effect, maybe I'd go with that, but as it is, Can that? Okay, it can only immobilize one enemy at a time. I hadn't tested that out before, so I wasn't sure. Alright, so one of the exits should be over here, yeah? Yeah, promenade. Which one should I take? Should I try and brave the dangerous ossuary? Should I head on towards the promenade, which I've done before and can get through pretty easily? Or should I end up finding my way to the... is it the old sewers or the toxic sewers that's the next level? It's one of the sewer levels. that's also a place I can get through fairly easily. I actually feel somewhat confident at my ability to take on the ossuary simply because of my freezing, but that might be overconfidence. I'm not really sure. I would like to see what stages I can get to from the ossuary is the thing. Oh, it's a difficult choice. Let me just make sure there's nothing else up here. There usually isn't. These paths just lead to the exits, but you never know. Yep, there's the toxic sewers. You know what? I'm probably going to regret this, but let's continue on to the ossuary. I want to at least beat that area. Just beat it. I was about to, you know, hum that tune, but I just realized I can't actually recall what it is. Damn. I don't have a good memory for music. Oh, I forgot about this, the fact that, the ossuary entrance has some expensive items at the start. I should have saved my money for that, I just realized. Whoops. That's probably why I've been having trouble with beating the ossuary. They expect you to pick up at least one of these level 4 weapons. Well, too late now. I'll have to keep that in mind for the future. So, I saw someone make pretty good use of the magnetic grenade. I kind of wrote this off before, but I just realized attracting enemies together, grouping them up, that's nothing but a good thing. Especially, say, if you have grenades or other forms of AoE offense. So let's get that unlocked post-haste. Alright, we're in the slaying zone once again. I mentioned this before, but just aesthetically, this area in particular looks so much like Slain. Like, just the aesthetics combined with the fact that the art style uses, or appears to use, is rotoscope stuff, rather than, you know, traditional pixel sprites. And that's why freezing's really good. Didn't I say I would regret heading into the ossuary? I did say that. I mean, granted, I could have approached that situation a little bit better. Not that I could have actually seen the sentry from far enough away to properly take it into account. That was definitely part of the issue I was having there. Oh god, frantic sword. What is my, oh right, I don't even have the rusty sword anymore because of the random weapon thing. I have no choice but to go with that. At least I have the throwing knives as well. Those are actually pretty useful. God, even the swing speed of the frantic sword is less than that of the rusty sword. It's so goddamn bad. There were so many just completely underpowered items in this. It's kind of ridiculous. A lot of stuff needs major nerfs to actually be competitive. As it is, I'd actually do better to start a new file and make sure that I don't unlock crappy stuff like the frantic sword, so that way it isn't a part of the move pool. As it is, I don't feel like doing that sort of cheesy stuff, at least not just yet. Maybe if I have a huge problem with actually making progress, I'll consider that, but otherwise, I'm just gonna try and unlock and try out everything. What? How did I not roll through that? That's bullcrap. Okay. Don't have any skills yet, so let's go with something that will be immediately useful and get more weapon damage. I could go back and grab that carrot, but I'm honestly not worried about dying here on the first stage. There's nothing here quite so bullshit as there is in the ossuary. Alright, if I'm planning on going to the ossuary again, and I think I might be, I should save my gold for that in-between segment. Really, my decision of whether to go on to the ossuary or not should be dependent on the amount of gold I have at the time. If I have at least 3 or 4k, enough to purchase one of those items, it's probably worth doing. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna die immediately like I did there. Ooh, I got the turret again though. That'll help. Not gonna bother with the force shield. Shields are kind of worthless as of the current patch. They just aren't all that great for dealing with crowds, which is, as you've no doubt seen many times by now, the actual dangerous part. Single enemies aren't so threatening, like even the Slayer, as beefy as they are dangerous when they're comboed with other enemies. God, I wish I had a better way of dealing with these shield dudes. As it is, the best way is melee strikes, and my melee capability isn't exactly the best. Frantic Sword, you're such a hot pile of garbage. Alright, that's the promenade. I definitely don't want to do there. Or go there. My choice is between the ossuary if I get enough gold, and the sewers if I don't. I'll probably pick up the twin daggers in that case, since that's a pretty good weapon. Especially with that bonus. Throw a grenade every time I strike. That's a pretty solid one, even if it doesn't really synergize with anything else all that well. That I've seen at least. Alright, I probably explored most of this place, so unless I suddenly get a whole shit ton of gold, I'm probably gonna ignore the ossuary. What's in the box? Ugh, useless ass assault shield. Shields are just so bad as of the current patch. Like, it's kind of amazing, they're pretty much universally bad from what I've seen, which I could understand, like, some of them being bad, like that kind of getting past balance testing, since, you know, they're just testing it themselves in whatever few testers they have. But shields, pretty much to a 1 being bad, is kind of a bad balance thing to have, even if you're talking about an early access release. And again, the only reason I'm complaining about that is because otherwise the quality of this early access release has been stellar. Alright, that leads to the ossuary, which, yeah, I'm not gonna do. In which case, let me go pick up those twin daggers. I should have just warped down there. Whatever. I don't care too much about getting the hourglass doors anymore anyway, since there's been nothing good behind them. So taking longer to get through an area really isn't that big of a deal. Alright, now I have a good weapon, a decent secondary weapon, some pretty solid skills. I should be set for the near future at least, for the next stage if nothing else. I want to pick up some upgrades before heading to the third stage, whatever one I end up choosing. But for the moment, I'm fine. Let's see, let's continue to funnel cells into the magnetic grenade. Soon I shall be Magneto. Alright, it's actually been a while since I've done the toxic sewers. I don't remember too much about them other than their defining features of asshole poison and asshole scorpions. And what do you know? Both I have immediately. That is fantastic. Actually make use of my freeze grenades here. Ooh, and a biter swarm. And enemies explode, freeze on death. Well, enemies hit, explode, and then freeze on death. That's really good. I think I'm gonna replace my ice grenade. Oh, I never have taken a sarcophagus in this level, have I? This one just leads to a bonus room, but Oop, and a horizontal turret upgrade, I'll take that. More damage, and enemies hit explode on death for regular damage. Fantastic. I'm getting lots of good stuff. So early on, too. Clearly the game wants me to do well after all of the failures I've had recently. Oh yeah, that enemy type that explodes on death. I had forgotten about those jerks. Oh. Nearly missed this little bit of slime. Ah, it just led to a bear trap. I'm tempted by the health upgrade, but my other skills are like just way more useful. It's not worth sacrificing one of them for a little bit of my boost to the health. Oh. I'm sorry, biter friends. I didn't mean to sacrifice you so. I gotta say, it's so nice doing a reasonably difficult area again. The ossuary is definitely tuned to be, like, way more difficult than any of the other stage options you have. As I mentioned before, the whole high difficulty for high reward sort of thing, since you get way better gear in that place, I think. Higher tier stuff. So I know that one exit from here leads to the old sewers. I imagine there must be at least one other exit, but I have no idea where it goes, so I'll have to keep my eyes peeled for that. There might also be a third exit via a sarcophagus. I believe this is the first time I've been in this stage since I've acquired that rune. So I have a lot of potential options open to me, which is exciting. Ooh. Do I want to switch out one of my current skills for the fire grenade? Biter Swarm is really nice and it never levels up, so it's always really good. Whereas the fire grenade will presumably fall behind in time if I get far enough. Yeah, if I had bonuses that worked with burning, I might be tempted, but as it is, eh. Okay, that's not how I expected that to go. I didn't go far enough to the right, so I dropped right into the poison. Whoops. That's fine, though. I didn't take too much damage. Wow, the game is really showering me with level ups here. Not that I mind. That'll give me greater strength to deal with the troubles ahead. The troubles ahead being sooner than I thought. That could have gone so much worse. Oh wow, this is the first time I've seen food at the merchant. Ooh, triple jump could be useful in the later stages just for evading enemies. If I get enough gold, I'll consider purchasing that. 3k. A little over 3k actually. Ooh, blood sword. Is that worth swapping out my twin daggers? Oh, extra damage to a burning target. So now I have 2 sources of bleeding, meaning I can stack it very strongly. Additionally, my blood sword gets a damage boost if the enemy is burning. So it might be worth going back and picking up that fire grenade. Ask and ye shall receive. Yeah, I haven't been making too much use of my horizontal turret. As much as I like the item, I think with my current setup the fire grenade is probably better. At the very least it synergizes, so even if it's not better, I just like having that more. Okay, so that's the old sewers exit. I just really like items synergizing in games like these. So there's definitely going to be at least one more. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, yeah, I kill enemies pretty quickly with this blood sword, so I think I'm gonna stick with this. Especially since I can stack bleed both in melee ranged and at long ranged. Wow, I forgot how complicated the level design in this place was. Like, it's not confusing, but it's just there's so many twisting pathways converging on one another. That's sort of the defining feature of this area's level design. Alright, stronger skills. Odd 3s for everything. Okay. That's an elite scorpion. I'm gonna see if I can't get rid of its support first. Drag them over here, or really wait for them to wander over and then kill them. Okay. Nothing else over there, so let's start with a flame grenade and a biter swarm. And then blood sword. Okay, that works. I'm getting out of here. No, I'm not. Okay. I just want a bit of a break. I mean, I'm doing damage to it, which is the important thing. I wonder if I could have ducked that poison shot. Wow, that scorpion is not letting me get away, is it? 12 HP. I had 12 HP remaining. Holy shit, elite enemies are not to be fucked with. Okay, wow. 3 jumps in the air, and 10% damage reduction. Sorry, merchant, I won't be seeing you again this stage. So that was definitely worth it. I mean, of course it is since I didn't die, but oh, that was risky. I was not expecting the scorpion to warp after me so aggressively. Previous elite enemies haven't done that, really. They've tried to come after me, but I'm usually able to leave them in the dust. Not in that situation, though. Alright, cursed treasure chest. I really don't feel like dealing with the curse, so I'm just gonna ignore you. Okay, so that leads to the ramparts. Is that it for the exits in this place? Let's see, there's a bit up there that I don't think I explored. I guess I should check that out. Otherwise, I pretty much fully covered the place. So I guess there are only 2 exits here, one leading to the ramparts and one to the sewers. So I can't go to the, I think it was the prison depths alternate exit that was available from the promenade. That's fine though. It's been a while since I've done the old sewers, but I want to see if I can conquer the rampart with my current build. It's not too awful at taking out groups, and groups seem to be the defining feature of the enemies in the ramparts, what with those hordes of flyers that they have. I'm hoping my fire grenade will do well at taking care of them. Alternatively, I could try and purchase this magnetic grenade. That would make my bloodsword a bit less effective, since it has that damage boost on burning enemies, but it might be worth trying out. I'll definitely unlock it at least. What level is this? It's level 2. Is that worth swapping out? Sure, let's go with it. It's something new, I want to try it out. Might as well recover more gold on death. That'll help me in future runs. And I should probably unlock everything else first. Try out the meat grinder and the knife storm before I purchase any more damage or quality of life upgrades. Kind of interested in knife storm, an AoE bleed move. I'm curious how effective that is. Good thing I had those 3 healing charges, otherwise I might not have made it out of there alive. Ooh, okay. My white whale, the ramparts. I'm so tense. My muscles are knotted. I'm so excited. I had forgotten how good the ramparts look though. Again, the visual design in this game is so much variety, it is kind of insane. Alright, let's try out the magnetic grenade. Okay, that's actually incredibly good. So it says it deals 27 damage a second. I misread that and assumed it just did a small amount of damage once, but no, it continually does that. So the magnetic grenade by itself actually does a lot of good damage, and it has extra added utility thanks to clumping enemies together. Look at that! I don't even have to fight them. Between the biter swarm and the magneto grenade, they are just dead. Okay, I think I might be set as long as I don't make any dumb mistakes. And I get the powerful bleeding as well, yeah. I actually feel pretty good and nice. I can kill the flies through the wall with it. Okay, this might be my new favorite item. My new favorite skill, at least. Look at that! Now I can be OP and cheese the enemies through walls. No longer is that only the domain of the enemies. Oh, this is good. Perhaps this was what was missing in my failed runs, actually having good stuff. All the more embarrassing since the only reason I haven't had the magnetic grenade before now is because I just refused to unlock it because I thought it would be shit, but here's how wrong I was. Ooh, okay. That's the first time I've seen that modifier. Shots pierce all enemies. That would be much better on something like an ice bow or the heavy crossbow, but even on the infantry bow, which is more of a close range bow, that still could be really nice. And it will give me a stronger form of offense as well. I think I'm gonna go with this. Although, now I'm immediately regretting my decision just because bleed stacking is pretty powerful. But I don't think I need to rely on that overly because of my good skills. Hopefully I didn't just make a poor decision. Okay, yeah, I don't regret picking up the infantry bow. Now I'm powerful both close and at range. Fantastic. I'm riding high on the world. Which means, if I'm not careful, the game will start to kick my ass to make sure that I know my place. I have to be sure to be humble in my strength. But yeah, this is what makes roguelite games so fun to me. It's just that 1 or 2 times every few runs where you end up with a gear setup that's so powerful that you just completely breeze through everything, even the tougher enemy encounters. It happens infrequently enough to prevent the game from being annoying, but frequently enough to give you a good sense of catharsis in between the more difficult runs that you have. And to me, that's one of the main reasons I play the genre. I'm not even sure what was happening there. Just so many visual effects. Ooh. Okay, goodbye infantry bow. I like you, but stronger knives with more ammo. That's pretty good. Oh dear, okay. See what I mean? Just a brief mistake in the game will push your shit in, as we've seen many times in the past. Oh wow, it's rare that you receive a level up from the wall secrets. Nice. That's some good luck on my part. That is worse than my current blood sword. No thank you. Yeah, let's return to the top. Still got plenty more of this stage to go though. The ramparts are quite large. It seems like the magnetic grenade does more damage if the enemies are closer to it. Still does pretty good damage if they're far though, which I'm not gonna complain about. Oh, and look at that, it just drags the shield boy over so I don't even have to walk over to him to murder him. Oh, so good. More health? I'll take you that. I would like to have more skill or damage upgrades though. It's pure luck whether the game actually gives them to me. Ooh, fantastic. This is a blueprint I've received before, but I never actually took it to the collector. Hopefully I can do that this time. I really want to get some new stuff to unlock. Yeah, look, that mage over here was completely able to do anything. He was just continually stun-locked by the magnetic grenade. And then I could deal with his buddy. I am loving this current setup. Wait, there wasn't a path down there, was there? No, it was a dead end. I can't bust through this wall or anything. Yeah. Just wanted to double check. I'm sure there's like still mechanics and features in some of these stages I haven't found. Like for one thing, I'm sure in some of these pits, there's probably like a secret room you can only get to if you drop down there. That may or may not be indicated by something, but I don't want to risk losing health to find something like that, when it's only a whim I have that even is a thing that exists. Alright, level of my choice. Let's go with better skills. What is the item actually called? I keep referring to it by different names. Magnetic grenade, yeah. I want that to be as strong as possible. Alright, I'm late enough in the stage that, yep, I'm coming to the asshole area where they just have whole flocks of birds. And as I thought, the magnetic grenade is perfect for dealing with these jerks. Whoa! Okay, I'm not sure how the green skeleton actually did damage to me. Like, it did the charge, I'm pretty sure, but I thought it would have been stun lock, so I'm not quite as supreme as I thought. I still am pretty supreme, though. Alright, one more healing charge left. I can make one major mistake. Yeah, I get ranged shit too, buddy. How do you like that? I think this is the first time I've made it this deep into one of the underground portions later on in the Ramparts. Yeah, I've never made it to the any of the exits. So this is a first for me. Assuming I can actually make it that far, which I'm getting a little bit worried about. Okay, there goes my last bit of healing. Gotta play it safe and cool. Ooh. That's good. Bow with infinite arrows, and it does extra damage to a bleeding target. Is it worth getting rid of my throwing knives? I think it might be. Strike him with the blood sword, then back off and finish him off with the arrows. Then again, the throwing knives are so quick and so good. Screw it, I'm gonna stick with them. The main reason I like them is because of how quickly you throw them. It takes far less time to fire consecutive shots than with any of the bows. Oh yeah, and I don't think I actually explicitly mentioned this, but yeah, ammo, it returns to you automatically after time. But if it sticks in enemies, it only returns after you've killed them, which is why I wasn't able to recover ammo last time, because I fleed from the enemy I made a pincushion of. Okay, so he has one exit to the Black Bridge. Maybe there's only one exit, actually, now that I think about it. That would make sense, given I have to fight the boss next. Okay, then. I've finally beaten it. My Moby Dick. The Ramparts. And unlike Ishmael, I did not die in return, although I may soon do so. Depends on how well my setup does against the boss. Alright, so I want that unlocked immediately. I'm probably not going to take it, but I want it to spawn in future runs. Might as well do so for the Knife Storm as well. Might replace my throwing knives, it depends on how good the Knife Storm is. As for the rest of my cells, Meat Grinder, I guess. Have that unlocked. And I think I have everything that I currently have unlocked, except for the Blood Shield. I think I'm gonna avoid unlocking any more shields though, since I have no plans on using any shields. Let's go for more gold recovery. Alright. Okay, wow, I'm glad I picked up this. Those are some good random effects. Enemies hit explode upon death, yeah, decent. Bleeding now inflicts poison damage too. Oh, I misunderstood. Knife Storm is a skill. Okay. I thought it was like a primary weapon. No. Oh wow, and this lightning bolt spell has biters as well. So much good stuff. What do I want to go with? Okay, magnetic grenade is too good to give up, although I can't imagine it being all that useful against the boss. Even if it does drag it, it's not going to do a huge amount of damage. Nothing compared to what the biter swarm can probably do. What exactly does the skill look like? Okay, yeah, basically arrows out, knives out in all directions, bleeding and poison. If I can stack those against the boss, that might be useful. Then I have this lightning bolt spell. What does that look like? Oh, I have to hold it. Okay, so that explains the description. So, continuous casting, and it deals critical hits if you do so, but if you have it go on for too long, you take a little bit of damage. I'm not sure if this is going to be useful against the boss or not. It might be, but I think I'll stick with my throwing knives for now. I don't think I've done a bleed build against the boss yet, have I? I should find out if the bleed will continually tick even when it has its shield up. Ooh, meat grinder might be good as well. Oh. This is a really hard choice. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this stuff. Hopefully I don't regret that. The main reason I'm sticking with Knife Storm is the fact that it poisons in addition to bleeding, which just seems really good. Maybe not for the boss per se, but for dealing with crowds of enemies. More DOTs, that sounds like a good thing to me. Alright, let's see how this goes. I've had no trouble previously, but I had pretty good setups. Okay, it does not take damage at all when the shield is up. Good to know. So having all these extra sources of bleeding, not too useful. It is not... oh wait, no, it is dragged by the magnetic grenade. Not as much though as the regular enemies. What about damage-wise? It is continuously hurt, but again, it's not amazing due to the boss's large... oop, health pool. I kinda hope they buff the boss at some point and give him more attacks. Even later on the fight when he's more aggressive, his moveset is limited enough that he's really not a threat at all. Like, this is my third time fighting him and I'm honestly not that worried. Should probably heal up soon though to be safe. As long as you remember to roll through his punches, you're pretty good though. Let me heal up now to be safe. Ensure my victory. Yeah, now he gains the leap, but that's really not any more threatening than his punches. It's still very slow, and thus incredibly easily avoided. Alright, I'm making mistakes towards the end here like a dope. Gotta watch that. As long as I go for the rally, I should be good. If I don't go too much for it, that is. And yeah, you can actually outrange his leap, which means you have plenty of time to heal as well. Which is also probably not should be a thing. Like, they should make the leap cover the entire arena so you can't just go away and heal. I have no more healing, so I have to really pay attention here. Which okay. I'm not doing a terribly good job of, I'll admit. Maybe I shouldn't shit-talk the boss.